celestial eyes, living in this royal body, this pure temple. Behind the windows of the eyes, I, the sovereign, enjoy the visible scenes that appear in front of me. I experience these scenes through the pure matter of the eyes. Everything is entertaining. There is a constant current of love. That flows between me and everything around me in this heaven. Looking at the faces of others, I see their eyes as pools of love. There is a natural exchange of sweetness and bliss as I see the beauty in the eyes of others. We look at each other in a way that is royal and divine. The animals wait for drishti from us. The deities of paradise. And there is an exchange of pure love and respect between us. I see beauty and radiance sparkling everywhere I look. Close by and far away, is our home, and we love to caress it with every glance through our subtle, celestial eyes.
वो दिन कितने प्यारे थे, ये दिन भी कितने प्यारे हैं। तब बाबा साथ हमारे थे, तब बाबा साथ हमारे थे। बाबा अब भी साथ हमारे हैं।
जब ब्राह्मण बने तो ब्राह्मण जीवन का पहला बाप से वायदा है। याद है क्या वायदा है? किया है आप नयों ने किया है या पुरानों ने किया है? नए भी तो अभी पुराने हो के आए हो ना। निश्चय बुद्धि का फॉर्म भर के आए हो ना, कच्चे तो नहीं आए हो ना। तो सबका पहला पहला वायदा है तन मन धन और बुद्धि भी तेरी। ये वायदा किया है सभी ने कि नहीं किया है? जिसने नहीं किया हो वो हाथ उठाओ। जिसने नहीं किया हो, अभी करने वाले हो तो हाथ उठा लो। अभी कर रहे हो, किया नहीं था। अच्छा चलो, इसमें भी कोई हर्जा नहीं। पहले नहीं किया था लेकिन अभी भी कर रहे हैं तो भी हाथ उठाओ। अच्छा अच्छा, जो समझते हैं नहीं, आई वेल के लिए कुछ तो रखना पड़ेगा। सब कुछ बाप को कैसे दे देंगे? कुछ तो किनारे रखना पड़ेगा। जो समझते हैं ऐसे कि यही समझदारी का काम है वो हाथ उठाओ। कुछ किनारे रखना है, रखा है कुछ किनारे? रखा है, आज दे रहे हो। देखना, आप ये नहीं समझना तो किसने देखा हमको, इतने भीड़ में किसने किसको देखा। लेकिन बाप के पास टीवी बहुत क्लियर है, उससे नहीं छिप सकते हो। बच्चे, मैं आपके सदा साथ हूँ।
Om Shanti. Avyak signals. In order to pass in the final test, increase the power to discern. Those who have the virtue of tolerance will hold the shield of drama as a detached observer and will easily develop the powers to discern and decide. The more tolerance you have, you will automatically continue to receive all powers from the Almighty Authority. Whatever words those with the power of tolerance speak, these will not be ordinary, and they will also perform actions accordingly. Om Shanti.
Om Shanti. Welcome to Vikti Parivar. Today's day 18, creating heaven inside ourselves. Happiness and lightness of the nourished soul. Now we will listen to Mohini Didi.
Om Shanti, everyone. Everyone okay? Well, yes, very good. You are waving your hands and see from your faces you all are very full and happy, right? Because Baba is saying to become Brahmins mean to be always happy. So we have to be always happy. Every day we listen to this power to discern, and especially this one about tolerance, right? I know that for many years I couldn't understand what is tolerance because you want to be what you are, you want to be natural. And one time, I saw Daddy Prakash Mani with few other seniors, Jagdish Bhai and some others. And she was being, I shouldn't say criticized, but it shouldn't be like this. In yagyas, like people say so many things. And Daddy was smiling and looking at, but I know myself and one other sister, we got little impatient because we couldn't take on more what they were saying. So uh, we thought we will stop them and say, that's enough, what you said, Daddy heard. But Daddy kept smiling, and then we keep telling them with the hand to stop it. And then when everything was over, they left, and we asked Daddy, where were you? Were you listening or not? She said, I was checking my powers. I was checking if I have tolerance, so I was with my 8 powers and looking at them. And that really had a big impact on me. I thought that that's what it is whenever there is situation, or people always will have some ideas, some opinions, some things. And so how internally one can just say, as Baba said, in power to discern means that you will have tolerance. So I start understanding what is tolerance. And now it takes 1 second. Before was like, Baba always say that Dadi Janki also mentioned that your inner conscience, or they call it chit, should never be touched by anything, because then your thinking, your thoughts are around that, and your intellect cannot go to Baba. So I know that tolerance is a very, very big power. How many of you think you have a lot of tolerance? Tolerance could be mental, physical, intellectual, all different ways tolerance. Right? Even we use the word resilience, and we use that word more in Lokik world, is that how much resilience I have. Some have physically, like doctors say, oh, you bounce back and you have healing capacities. Some have, in different ways. So I think tolerance is a good virtue. And when I look at Baba, whatever people say about God, right? How much tolerance God has. Yeah. And then Baba said, they say that you are in stones and you do everything. So someone said, what about sinful souls? He does. If you ask them why you commit sins, it's God, Some really make God responsible for their every action. He doesn't punish them, right? Does he? What he does. So looking at Baba can also help us to increase our power of tolerance. Or anything in the nature has lot of tolerance. You know that this is the 50th year for environmental, issues and all that at UN. So in India, they decided, which we got notice recently, and this is how we start planting our first fruit tree was in Peace Village on June 5th. I was here and we planted one and we booked many others, fruit trees here. So we planted apple tree. It's coming out very good. So, but when we were talking about tree, so many saints and sages, Vivekananda and many Buddha, very famous saints under the tree, they did meditation, right? But also for giving, you throw a stone to get an apple or any fruit. So you get a lot of fruits, but stone comes back anyway, but it's not trees giving stone. So it's whole nature has this quality of giving and tolerating. So it must be great virtue, and I'm sure we should experiment more with that and not get touched and start having wasteful thoughts. But also, we had been listening to some of the seniors talking about Mama. So yesterday we were listening after Avyakt Murli, Nirvar Bhai and Karuna Bhai sharing about Mama. And Nirvar Bhai shared something which really stayed with me, that they were driving in Bombay, and in Bombay they have big hoardings, So one of the hoarding was kind of like Ramesh Bhai was also in the car. They liked it and they said, it's such a good idea. So they asked Mama, and what I noticed with Dadi Mama, they don't look around, right? Like we look around hoardings and whatever it is. But when they are in the car, they don't look around. So then Mama is saying to Nirvar Bhai, he asks Mama something about hoarding. Did you like it? Was such a good idea that what Baba gives us? And that is, Mama said that I only come here for action, what I have to do or speak. Otherwise, I live up there. And Nirvar said, there is a saying that ground moved under my feet, like I couldn't. How can that be possible? So today, I was thinking that we are talking about creating divine sanskars, but when meditation is on or certain moments of the day, I find like all space around me is heavenly. Can we create that, or can we be in that heavenly, beautiful, divine space and still be in the body and do actions? So I connected very much with Mama, and then I thought that's something very beautiful. And so then we are serving the world, but we are living in this golden age, beautiful space. And, for us, then the air, the water, all the elements, the way their fragrance or their beauty, I think we can do that. And so it's something I really feeling more and more. And I think we all can do it together, because after all, we are the ones who are creators and we are the one who will be the masters. So we have to do that. Is very, very important. But just sparkle of contentment and this fullness of divinity, very full. And when we are full, then we are bestowers, right? You naturally give. Anything in the nature doesn't try to give. They give whatever is their quality. They give, whether it is air or water or sky, but they constantly give to us, right? So contemplate on that, think about it, and practice whole day to see, am I creating that space around me? And definitely there will be others who will kind of through vibrations pull towards that. And Baba will look at and say, we are cooperating in creating a golden aged world on this earth. I'm sure you all will do it. Om Shanti.
Om Shanti Didi.
Om Shanti, Brother Ken. Om Shanti.
Wow, so beautiful. Everything. I was actually reflecting on something that Baba said in today's Murli and connecting it with something that you were saying. Baba said, and I always like this point, that when you die, the world is dead for you. And the death of our bodily identity, in fact, fear of death is a fear of the limited ego, because it will disappear at death. So all of the things that we've invested in and all of the things that we've created through our ego will disappear and we'll just be the soul. And we're going to the land of immortality. So how can we keep our focus on a world that we can imagine, we can visualize, but how do we keep our focus on a world where no one has the ego of body consciousness, where things are so beautiful and so much giving, as you said, that there's nothing that we would have to make the effort to tolerate, because even the word tolerance doesn't exist because everything is great. So how can we keep our focus on that with all of the things happening around us? And people have fear of death, and we can understand what the word immortality means, but is it a real experience? Can you comment on that?
There is some words which Baba used called dying alive. That means belonging to Baba. Everything belongs to Baba. Nothing is mine, even the body. And also you see in Madhuban, they do bhog for dying alive, because there are many, they keep their clothes ready. And so if I don't see death as like death, but as a transition, and like Baba said beautifully, that your new part is emerging. And I always for me, Brahma Baba is in front of me, that how very, very beautifully Baba left body. So there is no, in Brahmin life, we don't use word death, right? You say living body, entering in the body. So when Brahma Baba, that day you heard, he said, I want to give class earlier, 1 hour, everything was arranged. He went in his room. There were few of them around. And after he was sitting on his cot, his bed, and he held Dadi Prakashma in his hand, and the soul left body. For me, I always create that vision that soul is just leaving body. And I was mentioning this morning that I like in Buddhist religion, some of them, when they go in samadhi, that means they just decide that this is the time for me to leave. So they just sit in intense meditation and they leave the body. So I always tell them, then why medical aid and until end, you have to keep putting on body so many things. So why not my transition in a very, very natural way, like Brahma Baba did? So that means it's not only ego, but your body consciousness. There is more this experience of angelic stage. And I think that the soul has experience of subtle regions, because we will be going there from here. Like for me, I always just know I'm going to Baba. I will be going to subtle regions. Baba is waiting for me. This practice I still do on ongoing basis, not for last moment that where I have to go. So there is no word death, there is no fear. Oh, I will be going to meet Baba. I will be with Baba. I think if everyone thinks, now our thoughts are creating some energy around. Our thoughts will create what you said, atmosphere around, and we will not be pulled, distracted by anything what is happening in the world. Because gradually what is happening, our interest in knowing about the world also is reducing. Yeah, well, how many of you feel that way? I know that I want to keep in touch, know little bit, but it's just percentage is reducing because what is there anyway? More violence, more frauds, more corruption, more that we don't want to keep hearing that. We know it will reach extreme, right? So I think as much over this Baba called unlimited stays from the world, then automatically this new space and new atmosphere and golden aged feelings will keep increasing more and more. And that's what I think we all have to do.
One thing you've spoken about many times, Didi, is about integrating soul consciousness and Baba's remembrance in everything we do, like putting Baba between us and every other interaction. And today, I mean, lately I've just been doing that, but I haven't had time to really sit for long periods in silence because I'm here conducting a retreat. Today I did 3 1.5-hour sessions plus another 1.5-hour session with the interfaith people. So it's been a really full day, but I don't feel anything except, I've been trying to integrate soul consciousness in every movement and everything I say. And this, I feel, is the secret to, it's part of our promise to Baba, right? And as you said, how to be ever happy, how can we really create heaven? I think that this integration of soul consciousness and Baba's remembrance in everything we do is what helps us to create this natural soul consciousness, this full divinity, as you said. Is that right?
Yeah, that's true, because we say Baba is the one who is Karan Karavanhar. But also when I'm listening to someone, somebody is asking help, what can I do? So I bring Baba to listen. I say, Baba, you listen to this soul, your child, and you do whatever. Because if that soul has some karmic accounts, I can't help to settle, right? It's Baba has to do it. So you have to bring Baba. But one of the first time when we were going to Madhuban, we were told, if you are in body consciousness, Shiv Baba will not come in Brahma Baba. So you won't get dishti from Shiv Baba. And even Brahma Baba will know that you are in body consciousness. And I remember we keep practicing, I am soul, I am immortal, I am love. 24 hours in the train, that was we were chanting so that when we go, and it's true because Baba Mama sat in the history hall on the cushions, and I went and we are taking drishti. And I knew that instantly, like I could feel Baba came and Baba gave drishti. He gave us a lot of love. But what I'm saying, this invocation of Baba will help in soul consciousness, but soul consciousness is very important even to bring Baba to give us drishti, but also then interaction with others to create presence of Baba is very important. And also then you don't feel I am hearing something. And then, even there is spiritual sympathy, but still like you don't want to take sorrow because there is so much happening, right? Every day, at least I get few emails, everyone is, this is happening, that's happening, lot on a physical level. But I look at Baba and I said, well, Baba, it's your children, you have to take care of them. So it's a very easy way, or should be the right way, because who am I to take, you have a short story with Ganges that one time, people say I take a dip and my sins are, washed away in the Ganges, and somebody asked Ganges, why you take sins of everyone? She said, am I stupid? I send back everything to them. So that's why they have heavy rains and floods and everything. I don't keep anyone's sins. And that's one thing I always say, why I'm going to keep thought about who is what, who did, what one is going through. So that means that's what you will be doing all day. So I also do let Baba do as Ganges say, okay, karmas have to go back in some form. I can't take anyone's karmas. But when I think of Baba, he will help definitely everyone, right?
Yeah. Thank you, Didi. I believe Eric is coming online too. Here he is.
Today, like we
Yes.
have brothers, lot of brothers. We have this whole gathering here. How many brothers? 6, 4, 10 brothers. And now we have 2 more. Welcome. Welcome in our gathering. Yeah.
It's our honor, Didi.
Yeah.
Thank you. And actually, Ken, you're staying with us because we're transforming today the chit chat into a 3 chat. And so we're going to be 3 having chit chat. And I was watching you, and I feel like the little ones are going to take us on a plane afterwards to Madhuban, but you both look like beautiful wings. And on the screens, I think you're both like the wings going to take us to a little moment in the golden age. And there was a thought that really, really touched my heart this week in the Murli when Baba said, you should remember the Father and give the donation of yoga. And I was contemplating on, okay, I know how to give Toli, I know how to give Drishti, I know how to give a gift. How do I give yoga? And I was wondering if you can enlighten us on how do you give yoga? Kenbai, do you have a yoga distributor or a yoga machine or yoga? How do you give yoga?
I really think that it's, in fact, I was just recording a commentary for Wembley. It was exactly about that. So I was just been thinking about exactly that just before I came on in Avyak Parivar. And really, we don't give anything. We just become transparent sort of transmitters that we don't block. Baba wants to give to the world, and I have to unblock myself in a way to let Baba give what he has to give. And Baba knows what everyone needs. I always remember a story with Sister Mohini in Australia, because when I started the centre in Sydney, she was one of the first students. And when she was giving the course, she was giving, one of her friends came, and she knew that friend had a lot of attachment. It was absolutely imprisoned by his attachment to someone. And so she's giving the course. And in those days, we would give drishti even if there's just one person. And she's thinking, Baba, give this soul power to overcome his attachment. And I said, Baba, help give this soul to overcome attachment. And then she felt Baba say to her, child, don't you think I know what I have to give? So it's like Baba gives through us. We don't give anything.
Mohini Didi, how do you experience that beautiful sentence, the donation of yoga?
Baba said, no, when you bring anyone to Madhuban, they need to contribute power of yoga, and don't just bring people for excursion and a lot of other things, but what yajna needs is really power of yoga. And I always say, look at, for me, there is nothing like giving, right? Because whatever you are, people are experiencing, right? You don't have if you are peaceful, I don't say now I am giving peace, right? If I am peaceful, what others will feel, right? So let's say in peaceful age, group of souls of 100 come, they meditate for a few hours, and it definitely leaves the vibrations full of yoga. And that there must be a lot of subtle obstacles being removed in a very, very natural way. So as Brother Ken said, it's not, I feel being that is natural giving, it's not question of now let's give peace to everyone. Be peaceful. And if 20 of us are peaceful, it must be spreading, right? So that's what Madhuban needs, what peaceful age needs, Yajna needs, but world in general also needs all that, So Brother Eric is not giving definitely, but it is being in that embodiment of those qualities and the rays, A lot of people come, they meet us, oh, everything is so peaceful here, it's so peaceful, right? So who is giving peace? But the whole atmosphere, the space becomes peaceful because of us being peaceful, right?
But sometimes in the Murli, the language is about, give good wishes, pure feelings, give powers, give the gift of power and virtues. And also in the Sunday's Murli, it was beautiful when Baba was mentioning about accumulating your powers and virtues, so that you don't waste, but also you accumulate. And by using them, and it says if you use them, you accumulate them. And I was wondering if you thought about how, so tolerance, you were talking about tolerance. If I'm naturally tolerant and I tolerate without thinking, is it the same as if I'm aware that, oh, now maybe I need to tolerate a little bit more, let me practice more, or like Baba says sometimes, call the power of tolerance and see if he can help you. And I was thinking that there's so many opportunities in a day, and I was not aware before, which virtue, which power maybe I should be thinking about. So being conscious of a power, does it help in, I don't know, but using it so it increases, but so we can give it to others?
See, let's say there is impatience, like people are impatient about something, and I'm seeing, and I am just in patience, giving the in patience. I am trying to be 100% patience, because now you can call it giving, but becoming aware, consciously kind of turning on that awareness of patience definitely will spread the vibrations of patience, right? I find someone is upset about something or not happy. And if you remain very loving and very peaceful, just be loving and peaceful, I think definitely it's like donating or contributing at that time. Now you are saying that, so it could be two things. One is awareness, other is invoking, So awareness is important of that power, so it can work. But when it comes to invoking power, when I find now I am about to get upset too, because it had been going on for long now, so I know I might say few things, right? Then I am invoking my power. I'm just saying, well, I am this, or whatever power I need at that time. So it's awareness and invocation. I think I use both during the whole day. Because sometimes yes, Brother Ken.
No, sorry, Didi, I didn't want to interrupt. Just finish what you were saying.
And say it, Brother Ken.
No, I was just thinking that to me, any virtue or power, in the beginning you feel that there is some effort there. I remember talking to someone once, and they said, I can tolerate the first time, the second time, but the third time I can't tolerate anymore. And I said, well, you weren't even tolerating the first time, you're just collecting combustible material to explode, right? And so one thing is to tolerate, you're not going to do anything physical. Then you tolerate and you hold your tongue. And then you tolerate and you hold the thought. And lastly, it becomes so natural that you don't even think that anything's happening that you would have to tolerate. So as we progress, it seems that every single virtue becomes natural, that you're not even aware that you have it. It's just there naturally. And that's, I guess, when we get to the golden age, all of the virtues and powers are completely natural without any words to call them whatever they are. So,
but to progress and to go higher and higher in your efforts, Ken, if one day you find yourself not so perfect, and you catch yourself being slightly imperfect, do you ask yourself, oh, maybe I should, invoke or use, maybe I'm missing discernment. Maybe I need to practice discernment.
I think so. I mean, none of us are perfect yet. And so you will feel that there's something missing. And then, in your checking, especially if your conversation with Baba is sort of ongoing, and it becomes very apparent that some little thing is missing, and then you can make up for it, it seems. I mean, we're not, we shouldn't feel bad about having not that little bit that I need. It's just, okay, as Baba said, check and change. And I think we're always doing that. And that's the method for progress. Check, change, do what you need to do, have more yoga, speak less, get more done, that sort of thing. And we just go on progressing. And that's what it seems to me. It doesn't seem to be a hard thing to do.
I think when we use a virtue, it keeps becoming power. So
Right.
Tolerance is a virtue, but tolerance is also power, right? So I'm using a virtue of tolerance, and as much I use, as Baba said, use it, it's becoming power. And when it's becoming power, that percentage, as much as the power, becomes natural to tolerate. And when Baba keeps saying, have all the powers, that means you use all the virtues in interaction and adverse situations with facing challenges, and they keep becoming the powers. And those powers are with your mind, intellect, and even sanskar. Becoming sanskars also is a great, becoming full or becoming embodiment. So virtue has to change into power.
But I have a strange question for you, Mohini Didi. Are you aware of your power, or is it just natural that you don't know? Or are you aware of how big the power is getting, or do you feel sometimes, oh, there's really power? How do you feel your power when you?
No, see, I think that when there is power, let's say in this room there is power, right? It's only when you turn on light or if something happens, how do I know power when there is a situation? Or it's like someone says something and you internally feel a little bit disturbed about that. And you immediately know that what percentage of power is there, right? That I need maybe another 20% power. So it's only during day practically when by the evening you know where you had enough power, where power didn't work, and what you need. And so as you were saying that, basically, like for me, it's not very easy to be upset or disturbed but sometimes I find that, there is a soul, responsible soul, but not seeing something about Yagya organization, and kept doing it. And I said, but that's not Yagya is about. It's not. So I get little impatient with that instrument, but it's not I like it, because I feel it's all right. That's the part of the soul. But other side, our duties sometimes make us kind of, you should say something, you should do, otherwise tomorrow it will come to why you didn't. Like Baba also in Murli says, tomorrow you will hear, underline this, underline this. But one thing I always remember is Mama's month, that whatever you have to say or do it sweetly. So that percentage of sweetness has to increase in the sense of being loving and sweet and still say what you have to say. But sometimes we use little bit force or some words which we even don't like later on, say, oh, I shouldn't have said this way. So we are able to definitely know how much more power is needed in which quality. So I start using that quality more, so that there is more patience, there is more detached, and so continuously there is assessment, there is more practice, and yeah.
One thing,
That's how it is.
one thing I feel, Eric and Didi, is it seems that when our virtues help others to become virtuous, then that virtue has become power. When the virtue is only used, let's say, I was noticing today there was someone who was very sad in our retreat here. And I couldn't help her to become less sad. So, I mean, I'm calm and stable and everything like that, but it was not enough to help that other person to become calm and stable. So it seems that virtues become powers when they can really help other people to change. That's what it seems to me, anyway.
I don't want any of you to miss the flight to Madhuban in a few minutes with the angels. Yeah, both wings, both double engine. Ken, maybe, in the regional retreat, you improvised an amazing experience, taking us into a state of being that was very powerful, almost in our perfect form. In few words, how would you see the power of yoga in Golden Age? When Baba says sometimes that even the children will be born with the power of yoga, I know we're not going to be remembering Baba and then children will be born. I know it should not be like that. It's not going to happen like that. And Baba will not be responsible for birth control in Golden Age. That I understand. But how do you describe the power of yoga in Golden Age?
Well, yoga means connection, right? And it seems that, I mean, my feeling, my intuition is that, and I was talking about this yesterday or the day before with Didi, that I am part of everything that's going on. And it's not that I'm omnipresent, but there's such a feeling of being together with everything, of having a total connection with everything. And because we are naturally soul conscious without even knowing what the soul is, we're naturally virtuous without knowing what virtues are. We are naturally powerful without knowing what power is even. But it's our connection with things and with matter at this perfect and most highest level, that connection or that union or that yoga just makes things happen in the most perfect natural way. And I guess that's what my intuition is about how babies will be born. We need to continue the race, right? We need to continue to produce bodies. And just that need makes things arrange themselves so that, there's a body waiting for me when I leave one form to go to the other. It's sort of a natural result of our connection at a deeper and most subtle, profound level with matter.
Mohini Didi, any thought on yoga babies?
I think I have to start thinking about all that. Both brothers have excellent questions, but some topics I haven't really turned on to think about, and maybe we all will think and come up with something. But as Brother Ken said, that harmony between the soul and the nature, alignment with everything, and so that could be like power of yoga there,
Well, I know
all needs are fulfilled.
Yes, I know our power of yoga has also brought the beautiful growth in the yagya. So in a way, we're happy to see all the young ones, and so happy to let them take us now on a flight. And thank you, Mohini Didi. Thank you, Ken. Lovely to be with both of you. my privilege to be on board. And yeah, let's see next week if we get more questions on the yoga babies.
Okay, thanks, Eric.
Thank
Good
you,
to see
brother.
you.
All right.
Thank you.
Shanti Didi, bye.
Om Shanti.
So, homework. Happiness and lightness of the nourished soul. Today I practice the golden age sanskar of sparkling with satisfaction and contentment. I experience the fullness of a devta, the deity. Sparkling with satisfaction and contentment by experience the fullness of a devta. So enjoy your homework, everyone. Om Shanti.
Om Shanti, thank you so much. That was so wonderful chit chat. It was a real gift to us today. So thank you, Brother Ken, Brother Eric, and Didi. And we look forward for this kind of chit chat. Thanks a lot. And yes, our flight is all ready, and we just have to get into it. So welcome to Awake the Journey, Madhuvan, the forest of honey, where heaven begins.
जिसमें खुशबू रूहानी थी प्यारी, देखा माली अपने गुलशन में। ओ एक बाबा मिले मधुबन में, शिव बाबा मिले उनके तन में। मीठा मधुबन देख के बाबा, याद तुम्हारी आती है। मीठा मधुबन देख के बाबा, याद तुम्हारी आती है। तेरी कर्म भूमि बाबा, याद तुम्हारी दिलाती है। मीठा मधुबन देख के बाबा, याद तुम्हारी आती है। जब जब मधुबन की ओर आए प्रत्यक्ष तेरे गुण हम पाए। जब जब मधुबन की ओर आए प्रत्यक्ष तेरे गुण हम पाए। हर बात तेरी देती है शिक्षा, कर्म तुम्हारे दिखाती है। मीठा मधुबन देख के बाबा याद तुम्हारी आती है।
नई रीत लागे रे, नया नया लागे। तो हमारा बाबा मुरली में बोले नया है बाबा, बाबा भी तो नया है। ऐसा बाबा तो किसको मिला नहीं। नया बाबा, नया ज्ञान, नया बाबा, नया ज्ञान, और फिर नए हम बच्चे। ईश्वरी परिवार भी नया है, फिर नई जीवन, फिर नई दुनिया, नई राजधानी। मुबारक हो, मुबारक हो। अच्छा लगा ना, अच्छा लगा कर अपना तो अभी भी आते रहना। तुमको सुन कम सुन, बहुत अच्छा।
Om Shanti. Thank you, angels. That was a great flight, and we really enjoyed today going to Gyan Sarovar, Baba's hut and Baba's room. Thank you. And whole of Vikti Parivar, please be with us every day.
Good night, everyone. Om Shanti. Good night.